Hey everybody, Outdoor Axiom here. Wanted to give you a quick review of my latest toy. This is the Ontario Knife Company Blackbird SK-5. And let me just start off by saying this is a wonderful knife. I love it. I had quite a bit of time playing with it out in the woods, and I think if all were said and done and I had to do it over again based on what I'm about to tell you, I would definitely do it again. But I don't want this to be a regurgitation of Paul Scheiter, the designer of this knife from Hedgehog Leatherworks, the information that he's put out, because a lot of the other people that seem to be making a lot of these review videos, they just regurgitate what he said, so that won't be what you're seeing here. But real life items. First of all, and let me just tell you that most of these items are very minor, but there is a little bit of discoloration on the spine, as you can see there, from striking the fire steel. So as you draw your fire steel back across your blade, you can get some discoloration here. But again, 154 CM is known for staining, so that's not a super big deal. I will say that the blade is very polished, so that it seems to slip very well through any type of wood you might be doing, working on, whether you're batoning or whether you're doing some fine work for figure fours or setting some kind of traps or anything like that. Came with a pretty good blade edge on the blade, straight from the factory, which is always a nice thing. So you don't have to work on it a whole lot. The big thing that I do want to kind of walk you through or talk about is here with the scales and the handle. So the handle fits very good in your hand. I mean, it just feels very comfortable. There's good heft to the knife. It's very smooth across the back. In fact, it looks like from this point all the way to this point has just been sanded all the way around. So it's perfectly flush all the way up to right up here. So works well. The problem is on the back side. Let me see if I can get some light on this. When you get down in there, you can see that it's really not flush on the inside because they can't really sand that too well. And so what that means is when you're starting to put some kind of lanyard or dummy cord or something on your knife, it'll snag and start to fray your knife. So I had a little bit of issues with it earlier on, and it was really fraying up my 550 cord. I think I've tried to knock most of those burrs down now, but it is something that you should be aware of. You know, you're spending over $100 on a knife. You know, you want it to be a quality knife. Definitely is a quality knife, but it's something that it would have been nice if that had been addressed or is addressed before future runs. I did try to bring that to the attention of Paul and his team over at Hedgehog Leatherworks, and say, hey, you know, you should be aware of what's going on with the quality control of your product that you've designed, you put your name on. And the guy that responded back to me basically said, you know, hey, Paul's too busy to respond to all these emails, which I get, because I'm sure he's working some other things too. But you know, send us some pics. So Mike, I think your name is Mike, here are your pics. Hopefully you were able to see that as it was going through, but I think people should be aware that you know, that is a potential flaw, albeit, you know, and I admit a small one. I was told to contact Ontario Knife directly. I don't know that it's that big of a deal. It was really more a chance for me to let them know that there may be some quality control issues that, you know, they might want to look into or at least mention. As I mentioned, overall, I would probably buy this knife again if we were to if I were to lose it or something like that. It's a great knife. It feels well in your hand. It worked well. Seems to cut well. It batons well. It does just about everything really well. Some cosmetic things with the fire steel, and I'm guessing when I start to gut some animals, there could be some staining issues too. I don't know, but really just in the handle there, that's probably my biggest concern. And again, not that it's a huge concern, but it is just something that I wanted you to be aware of before you buy a knife like this, something you may not have heard other places. So I love it. Ontario Knife Company, Blackbird SK-5 survival knife, 5-inch. I think they're planning on doing some other things down the road, but But that's it. Outdoor Axiom giving you a heads up on the Real Skinny.